Hello all, welcome back to Believer Science Academy. This is topic of the day discussion, and in today's topic we'll be discussing groundwater contamination. Okay, is the groundwater in India really contaminated? And if so, what are the different contaminants? And if there are different contaminants, what are the health implications? And if there are health implications and environmental impacts, how are you going to address it? So all these issues will be addressed in this today's video. So make sure you watch till the end and also note down important points which I am going to point out today. So it is in news because the Central Groundwater Board found that many states in India are facing a serious problem with high nitrate levels in groundwater. So the report says that there are many contaminants, and important contaminants are the assessment of India's groundwater quality has identified several significant contaminants, primarily driven by agricultural practices, industrial activities, and natural geological factors. The key contaminants are, first one is nitrates. Okay, nitrogenous based contaminant, that is nitrates. Excessive use of nitrogen based fertilizers in agriculture leads to high levels of nitrates in the groundwater. Okay, so the main source of nitrate contamination is the fertilizers used in agriculture. This is the most prevalent contaminant, with over 56% of India's districts reporting nitrate level exceeding the safe limit of 45 milligram per liter. Okay, you can make note of this one. 56% of India's districts higher than safe limit of 45 milligram per liter. And after nitrate, other important contaminants are fluoride. Fluoride contamination is a major concern, particularly in the states of Rajasthan, Haryana and Karnataka. Approximately 9.0% of the tested groundwater samples had fluoride levels above the permissible limit of 1.5 milligram per liter. Okay, contamination of fluoride will result in fluorosis. Okay, what is fluorosis? Fluorosis is a defection in your bones or decoloration of your teeth. Okay, that is fluorosis. Then arsenic, it is a naturally occurring arsenic in certain geological formations, poses serious health risks, particularly in alluvial plains where industrial activities may exacerbate contamination. Okay, so arsenic is present naturally, but due to this mining, and repeated mining activities, it exacerbates the leakage of arsenic into the groundwater. Arsenic will result in arsenocosis, which is similar to fluoride. It will result in reducing the density of your bones. It will have implications on your joint bones, and it will also have implications on your teeth and anything related to calcium. Okay, then uranium, the elevated uranium levels have been detected in several regions, with about 6.60% of samples exceeding the safe limit of 30 parts per billion. Okay, in states like Rajasthan and Punjab report significant uranium contamination. Okay, so uranium contamination, it is radioactive in nature, so it also has a very significant health impacts. Then iron. Okay, iron as a micronutrient is good for your health, but iron as a pollutant is very difficult or very bad for your health. That is, high concentrations of iron affect groundwater quality and can lead to aesthetic issues and potential health risks when consumed in large amounts. Okay, and other heavy metals include contaminants such as lead, cadmium, mercury and chromium are also present due to industrial discharges and improper waste management. Okay, so from this we can say that groundwater in India is obviously contaminated, and it is not just contaminated by one pollutant but so many contaminants. Okay, each contaminant having its own health implications. Then, so what was the state of groundwater in 2024? Okay, the report also talks about groundwater status, that is The overall extraction rate is the degree of groundwater extraction across the country was reported at approximately 60.4%, indicating that this level has remained relatively stable compared to the previous years. Okay, so 60% of the groundwater is being extracted by India, and it is being used for various reasons. So it remained similar for the last few years. So there is no increase in overall extraction rate. This figure reflects the percentage of groundwater resources being utilized versus what is available for extraction. Okay, then safe blocks are about 73% of groundwater blocks were categorized as safe, meaning they are adequately replenished to meet extraction demands. This represents a slight increase in the from previous assessments. Okay, so this is a positive thing you can say. So there are 73 groundwater blocks. So groundwater blocks are the regions where groundwaters are present, and these groundwater blocks are considered as safe, meaning the replenishment rate and demand are at a permissible rate. Okay, so that is whatever the demand is arising, the replenishment rate is able to satisfy the demand there. Okay, so rest of the 27% groundwater blocks are suffering from higher demands compared to the extraction rate. Okay, so the higher demand compared to the replenishment rate. Then about recharge and availability, that is the total annual groundwater recharge was noted to have decreased marginally from 449 BCM, that is billion cubic meters in 2023 to 446.90 billion cubic metrics in 2024. Okay, so the recharge was reduced. Okay, so the annual extractable groundwater resources slightly declined from 407 BCM to 406 BCM. So if there is a possibility or positive in previous parameters, there is a negative in respect to rechargeability and availability. So groundwater recharge has also reduced, as well as annual extractable water has also reduced by slight margin, but it is very significant. Then on contamination issues, despite the improvements in some areas, challenges remain, particularly with nitrate contamination, where 440 districts were identified as having excessive nitrate levels in their groundwater, that is around 45 milligram per liter. Then how are groundwater levels measured? Okay, how are they measured? Groundwater levels are measured using a network established by Central Groundwater Board. Okay, the network includes observation wells, that is approximately 26,000 observation wells are used for manual measurements of groundwater levels. Then digital monitoring. Since 2023, around 16,000 to 17,000 piezometers equipped with digital recorders have been installed in automatically measure and transmit groundwater levels to centralized system for real-time monitoring. Okay, so it has observation wells as well as a component of technology, that is digital monitoring. These two together are used as a data for calculating groundwater levels in India. Then, so we saw that nitrate is high. So what will be the implications if the nitrate level is too high? There are health risks and there are environmental concerns. This can be same for every other contaminants also. Every contaminant has both health risks as well as environmental concerns. Here, with respect to nitrate, elevated nitrates can cause methemoglobinemia. Okay, it is a blood disease which is also called as blue baby syndrome. Okay, particularly present in infants under 6 months old. This condition reduces the blood's ability to carry oxygen, resulting in a bluish tint to the skin and potentially severe health complications of if untreated. Okay, blue baby syndrome is a significant disease which is found in infants. It is caused because of reduction in red hemoglobin cells, or hemoglobin turns into methemoglobinemia. Okay, methemoglobinemia. So what are the environmental concerns? Excessive nitrates contribute to algal blooms in surface water bodies, which can deplete oxygen levels, harm aquatic ecosystems, and disrupt the balance of marine life. Okay, so all these things are important. So these can be also repeated for other contaminants like fluoride and arsenic, etc., etc. Just a disease name will be changed. For example, arsenic, it is arsenicosis. For fluoride, it is fluorosis, and for cadmium, it is ethai or Auchos disease. Okay, so disease name you have to remember. There can be match the following type of questions. So we saw that there is contamination already present. So what should be the way forward there? Okay, we cannot use the contaminated water. So what should be the way forward? That is, say, should be sustainable agriculture practices. That is, promote the use of organic fertilizers, precision farming techniques, and regulated use of nitrogen-based fertilizers to minimize nitrate leaching into the groundwater. Okay, agriculture should be in such a way that it should adapt to the climate change, and it should result in as much as less contribution to the climate change. Okay, so there should be a climate smart agriculture approach adopted in order to address this groundwater contamination. A climate smart approach focuses on organic components or organic fertilizers, and reducing and precision farming focus on efficiency, and all these things are going to reduce groundwater contamination. Then we should also focus on strengthened monitoring and remediation. That is, expand digital groundwater monitoring networks, enforcing strict industrial discharge regulations, and implementing remediation techniques like bioremediation and constructed wetlands to mitigate contamination. Okay, if this is to reduce the pollution, this is to restoring the groundwater to its back to its glory. That is reducing the contamination by treating the contaminants. How you can do the contamination? Treat the contamination by bioremediation, like reducing the industrial discharge regulations, and enforcing strict industrial regulations, and groundwater monitoring, etc., etc. Okay, so these ways we can address the issue of groundwater contamination. So this is the today's video, very small one but very important, with lots of data and important points. So you can make note of these data in your GS1, GS2 as well as GS3 also, or there can be a question based on GS4 where there can be a question on groundwater contamination, etc., etc., kind of case studies. There you can use this data. Okay, so if you like the content, then hit the like button, comment on the video, and also share with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss a notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.